So how would you feel if someone came up to you with a large bowl of delicious looking fruit and they tell you that God has given them a word for you, a picture of a bowl of fruit? You look at it and you think to yourself, this is going to be good. This is a word about how my life will be hugely fruitful, flourishing with all kinds of fruit. Then, to your horror, you discover that's not what God is saying at all. God is saying that in the same way that the fruit is ripe, your life is ripe. It's ready for some severe discipline. Ouch! Who would want to hear a word like that? And why? When you read on in the verses in Amos, you discover that God is mad. And why is he mad? He's mad because his people, the ones who are supposed to be living an example of God in the world, are living selfish, self-centered lives. They're not just turning a blind eye to injustices, they're committing injustices. They're oppressing the poor and helpless. They're trying to out-cheat each other and deceive each other. And that's not how God's people should be living deliberately different in the world. God gets mad at injustice. It's not the world that he created. The most famous time where Jesus gets angry is when he's turning over tables in the temple. The whole temple system was corrupt. The very thing and the very people who were supposed to draw others close to God kept people from God. And like in Amos, Jesus was mad with God's people. The writer to Hebrews in Hebrews 12 reminds us that like a father disciplines a child who behaves badly, so God disciplines us at times. He allows us to face the consequences of our bad decisions. He sometimes removes his protective hand over us so that we can see what living without him is like. But God's discipline is never an end in itself. And it's clear in the Amos passage that the reason for this discipline is to get us back on track. First and foremost into relationship with him, and then secondly, living for him. When my children were younger, sometimes I had to discipline them. I never enjoyed it, and I only ever did it to help them grow more healthy and more whole. God disciplines those he loves, and at times in our life it might feel like we all experience some of this. It doesn't mean that everything bad that happens to us is God disciplining us. No, not at all. Sometimes bad stuff happens because bad stuff happens. But whatever we do go through, we know that our Heavenly Father loves us, is for us, and he will help us get through it if we keep hold of him. May we all learn to keep hold of him, whether life is good, bad, or ugly.